Sonia Redline. I am the Assistant Director of Health Promotion, which is a fancy title for health educator here at TWU.
My name is Carrie Lavelle. I am a psychologist at the Counseling Center here on campus. How many of y'all know about the Counseling Center? All right, we've got some hands. My hope is that maybe we can leave you with some information about that when we end tonight. But super pumped to be here and to be part of this body project, TWU Body Project.
Hi everyone, I'm Martha Bergen, and just like Carrie, I'm a psychologist over at the Counseling Center, and I really am honored to be able to be a part of this panel today and hope to continue the positivity that our fearless leader has started us off with today. Because I know this can be a difficult topic to talk about. There's a lot of positivity around seeing our bodies and our minds and our spirits as works in progress. So thank you for those words.
My name is Christina Sherman, and I'm a graduate student here in music therapy. I teach and train at the fitness center as well, and I'm excited to be here tonight. Martha said that we are bringing this topic and talking about it.
And I'm Dr. Basiliadis. I'm one of your physicians at your Student Health Center, and just delighted to be here. So we'll help out with any medical questions, because again, this is as much of an emotional and psychological issue, and it impacts all of us, all ages, and again, something that I'm very happy that we're all discussing openly. So, thank you.
We very much want this to be a discussion, and I know that's going to feel a little awkward, so we have every intention of bribing you. Over on the right-hand side, oh, actually Sammy's got a stash right there. As there are different times where we're kind of asking for some feedback or for some thoughts from you guys, you get a prize for participation. So if that helps encourage things, we're all about that. I was going to get it started with the panel here right off the top. Ooh, do you guys have more goodies?
They have more goodies.
Oh my gosh, the choices. See the benefits already of coming. It's amazing.
Stress balls and really cool sunglasses.
Spring is coming.
That's right. That's right. I was actually going to start with the panel, and you guys can decide what order, but initially I wanted to get feedback from you in terms of what positives or negatives can you personally talk to the group about when you hear the words body image? Because this is a pretty personal topic, I think, for everyone.
Oh, we don't have to go in order, right? I'm processing.
I'll reward myself, and I'll start us out by, sharing a little bit. Whenever Michelle mentioned, whenever we hear the word body image, we often go like this. And I just kind of scanned the room, and I think that it's fair for me to say that I saw a couple people sort of nodding or sort of even making that face like nail on the head. That fits for me. And that fits for me too. As a woman in this world, as a woman who sees all of the images that we are inundated with on a daily basis, between magazines and TV, that there is this idea that social comparison is a real thing. And we may look at something and then look at ourselves and think, how do I compare to that? And that can leave us feeling really empty. And so I think part of my process, as I manage my personhood in progress, my professionalhood in progress, is how can I show myself a sense of compassion that I am growing. So that's sort of, I think, the way that maybe I try to balance some of that stuff that we get on a regular basis.
I'm glad you mentioned self-compassion. That was one of the words that came to mind for me, because I think similarly to what you said, and the nods in the room around the word body image, this is a loaded, it's a heavy subject, no pun intended, but this is a difficult topic that can bring up a lot of difficult feelings of self-criticism, as well as criticism that we receive from other people when we maybe do not fit the standards and the expectations of society's norms of what the ideal woman and the ideal man should look like, and that can bring up a lot of pain. And similarly to Carrie, I think that there's a lot of importance around being able to find power in being outside of the box and outside of the norm and that maybe through our conversation today we can hopefully get some seeds planted about how to make that transformation for yourself from feeling from feeling frustrated and sad or self-critical about maybe being outside of the box, because in a lot of ways all of us really are. Even models don't look like models in real life, or what we see in the magazines. Those people don't really look like that in real life. They don't really fit the norm. So having self-compassion and being okay with being outside of the box is really a brave thing and a fierce thing to do. And I hope that we can inspire a little of that fierceness in all of us today.
I think for me, and I deserve a prize for this, talking now, yay, glasses, please. Now, for me, when we talk about body image, I automatically think about not only the way that we address ourselves, but how we're addressing others, and how that has a big impact. When people say things to you, and how we can better use our language in encouraging one another, in being more accepting, have more self-compassion, and all those wonderful counselor things that they said, rather than what we typically see, that I see and even hear a lot in our office amongst our staff, you speaking to me, you can wear anything because you're so skinny. I get a lot of comments just because I am thin, and a lot of that is just I have naturally high metabolism. My mother's thin, my dad is thin. We're just kind of skinny people, toothpicks. But so I get a lot of backlash for being skinny, and you wouldn't necessarily see that. There's skinny hate out there too. But in addition, just the way that they talk to each other and comment about, I'm trying to lose weight, or any of those kind of conversations that we have, and how we can better communicate and just say, you look great the way you are. If there's anything I can help you with, I'll be willing to help you. Let's do things together. More of things along those lines, I think would be empowering for us to work on together if y'all want to do it. So, yeah, thanks for the glasses.
Yeah, going along the lines of what Sonia said, I think the big thing is that it's such a taboo topic, and really talking about it and getting out there and knowing that you can go from that self-hatred or self-loathing or non-acceptance. Even if you aren't where you want to be, you can still love yourself.
One thing I really hope to talk about today is the idea of health at every size. It's a pet issue of mine, something that is very personally relevant as a woman who identifies as fat and trying to be healthy. There, I said it, the taboo words. So trying to break the silence, and talking about how no matter where we are at, we can be healthy.
What we were going to do, very good, is we were just going to use the questions that we kind of used to start off and comments to kind of get the ball rolling, if everybody's good with that. Unless there's something you're just really passionate about that you just want to jump right in and do. Didn't think so. Oh, go right ahead.
Well, this is about planning a whole, instead of y'all called it Body Project instead of Body Image Week, because usually sometimes when there's body image weeks at school and stuff, it just seems like some kind of superficial approach to, hey kids, the media's telling you mean things, you don't have to be like this. But then it's just, somebody else said it just was kind of a superficial setting. Is that why y'all called it Body Project Week, or is there another, or have you ever considered that, or looked into that, or thought about that?
I can speak here to that one. I'll take you from a real personal perspective. I have 2 children right now, teenagers, a boy and a girl, 13 and 16. You would think that the boy is not experiencing body issues. Oh, it's out there. It's out there. Whether it's high school, whether it's junior high, it's a very real thing. And as a mom, you see your positives and then you see all your negatives out there. And so very quickly, if I'm embracing any type of negative self-talk, it won't happen right away, but about 2 weeks later, all of a sudden it starts bubbling up to the surface, and I realize that's coming from somewhere. So for me, I feel very serious about the idea of this being a body project. I'm in the field of kinesiology, about the field of motion. Our bodies were built to do amazing things, and it is not dependent on size, age, ethnicity. It's not dependent on any of that. That's what actually makes it even more powerful, is the fact that there is so much diversity. So from a personal standpoint, yes, it's the idea of getting that message across that we are works in progress. And in college, this is an outstanding time to start thinking in terms that way, because depending on where you guys are coming from, a lot of you, this is the first real separation from what has up to this point been kind of reality. Like, this is what my mom thinks, this is what my dad or my family or my core group of friends thought in high school. And you can get to a different environment and you're given permission to challenge the norms, or to at least decide for yourself. Am I going to embrace those because I truly believe that those are now my norms? Or am I going to tweak them a little bit? Or am I going to make some type of radical change? This is the time to do that. And so from my perspective, that's what I thought in terms of works in progress. So yes, it starts this week, but the idea is to plant a seed that y'all travel off with and you make it your own. Because I think that's really the only way you get success in a topic like this, is we have to start making this our own.
Just to piggyback off something Michelle said, I also have children. I have 3 girls. So even at age 5, 7, and 9, they're already experiencing these negative body image messages that they get. And I consider myself as the health educator, that I'm really trying to set a good example. And so I think about the things that I say and the things that I do and how that shapes them, right? How many of you had moms that were on diets, right? Okay. So just that whole concept right there, right, about diets, these are the things that we learn, and that we start doing these behaviors ourselves. What our goal here, right, is to talk about, one, it's okay to be who we are, and to embrace that. And again, we're works in progress. There's always something that you can do, some goals that you can set, and resources that we have that can help you meet those. But ultimately, you have to encourage yourself and love yourself enough. And that's, again, what I try to instill in my girls. And so, again, we're trying to hopefully instill this message on you, so that whenever you have children, and I'm sure all of you want to have 3 girls like I do, that you can share that same positive message. And it's trying to shift the culture a little bit. And that is a big task that we are charging you with. We're trying to give you the tools so that you can help us reshape our thinking and reshape the culture that we live in. And it does. It takes time. It's going to take a little time for us to accept these new norms, but we have to start somewhere. And so it is a project. And it's not just this week. And there's a lot of health awareness things that, February is a huge health awareness month. But hopefully, again, we have this week, but we're hoping that you will take this and apply it throughout the year, not just this week.
Yeah, and I think to piggyback off of that, and I think the point that you brought up about sometimes conversations like this can maybe seem superficial, or that people putting on programs like this are maybe just giving it lip service.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important point. And I hope that what you can hear is the genuineness and the different things that are being shared from this panel and from the folks at Fit and Rec who organized it for us. And to also keep in mind that what happens in our conversation, our dialogue today is really going to depend on everyone in this room and all of our fierceness and daring to really go there and not have a superficial conversation, but to dare to be as real as we can be. So I can't really answer whether that will happen here today because it really depends on everyone in this room.
It was an open-ended question.
Yeah.
Just throw out. I have
It's a
another
very
question.
good point though.
Can I ask, you mentioned, what specific culture were you targeting when you mentioned like which culture you wanted to change?
It was probably pretty broad, just in the culture where we focus so much on trying to be something that we're not, essentially. You know, again, going back to media and the images that are put up and things that we strive to be that are not realistic, and shifting that mindset may have been a better way to frame it.
So